when Shirley was on earlier, she was mentioning the stuff that's going on in the schools there, and that's not going on just in Puerto Rico. That's here in the U.S., here in the
mainland,
the mainland U.S., the 50 states as well. And I don't usually bring current events into the show, but this one really made my blood boil. So I wanted to mention it because this stuff's going on. This comes from Hemant Mehta's Friendly Atheist blog. And it's about a student who's suing her high school in the Delta County School District in Colorado. Her name's Sydney Fisk, and she's actually in college now, but you know, the wheels of justice turn slowly. So there's this lawsuit going on about what's going on in the public schools there. And you know, I just wanted to give a brief rundown on what this is, because this is like one of the most egregious cases I've heard of. I know a lot of schools, especially in the South, do this kind of stuff now and then, but what was going on in her school, teachers at the school openly discussed their Christian faith and church attendance during classes. School board members also did that. One board member raised her Christian belief that transgender students should be castrated. A middle school teacher sponsored Bible study classes before the start of the day, enticing students with donuts to attend sessions. When Sydney Fisk spoke out against an amendment, a personhood amendment that would have treated fetuses as humans, making abortions more difficult to obtain. One of her teachers reprimanded her publicly for wearing a shirt, urging people to vote no. The teacher added, "God gives babies life and abortion is murder." The same teacher, along with Fisk's guidance counselor, had a private meeting with her months later where they criticized her attitude. They showed a picture she had posted on her private Instagram account in which she said she wasn't a fan of the school. The counselor added that if Fisk's attitude didn't change, she would have to ruin her position in student government and ruin her grant opportunities. The counselor also threatened to revoke letters of recommendation for college. Sydney tried to begin a secular student alliance group, couldn't find a faculty sponsor, and her government teacher told her that the club did not line up with community and school values. The school invited Christian abstinence-only speaker to give a talk. She was told the speeches wouldn't be religious, and of course, when they were made, they were full of religion. They brought in another speaker to talk about his time as a soldier and why Jesus was great. And he was invited in to talk about the problems of drug use, but he had absolutely no qualifications to talk about drug use. When Fisk pointed that out, she was reprimanded by her teacher. This one bothered me the most. Her grade in her government class was dropped from a near-perfect 98% to 70%, not based on any exam or paper, but when she asked her teacher and principal told her in private that the newspaper article she wrote about the school complaining about their policies was part of the reason.
That's really sleazy.
And they cited her questioning of authority, particularly religious authority, and that she was stirring the pot.
And also I read down here, after they screwed with her grades, when she was applying to college, she had to submit counselor's letters, and they didn't just tell her no. They accepted and then stalled on it, and then may have sent bad recommendations, which kept her out of a couple of colleges, they think.
Right, and she wanted to apply for a couple of scholarships, and that she qualified on based on her ACT scores and her family income. She's saying that she doesn't believe that those applications were even submitted by the adults in the school. So this kind of stuff's going on in public schools. She's filing a lawsuit, which is great. You know, kudos to you. This stuff needs to be challenged at every point that it happens. This is clearly blatant religiously based discrimination. So I want to give Sydney a shout out. Say there's her group in Colorado, Atheists and Freethinkers of Western Colorado, I believe it is, set up a scholarship fund, and they ended up giving her, I think, raising $4,000 to make up for the scholarships that she was denied because of her religious views. So I just, I wanted to publicly, personally support her in her efforts, because this stuff needs to be called out when it happens. So
yeah.
that's that.